Alexa, turn on pendant lights.
Pendant lights isn't responding. Please check its network connection and power supply.
I have had many smart switches in my home, all controlled by Alexa. And in case you are playing this video near an Alexa device, I will from now on refer to her as Alicia.
Alessandra, turn the heat up.
During a kitchen remodel last year, I added 4 more smart switches. The brand I used for the first time was Eaton. They were sold by my local Lowe's, and though expensive, I thought they might be a good choice. It turned out not to be a very good choice, however, as I will explain in this video. I installed these Eaton Smart Dimmer switches in June of 2021, and they have been working just fine. Fine, that is, until about 4 days ago, when I noticed Alicia was not responding to the switch commands.
Pendant lights isn't responding. Please check its network connection and power supply.
I'm very familiar with smart devices, so I was not too concerned initially. I did all the things you're supposed to do when a smart device goes offline. Reset the device, reset the router, delete and re-add the device, etc. Usually, one of those methods worked to bring the switch back to life. But this time, nothing worked. More importantly, I noticed that it was only the 4 Eaton switches that were no longer recognized by Alicia. I could operate the switches manually, but Alicia could no longer control them, reporting that the device is not responding. My 25 other Kasa smart switches were all working just fine. Odd, I thought.
Please check its network connection and power
After trying numerous times to get Alicia to recognize these switches, I realized it was not an Alicia issue, but an issue specific to the 4 Eaton switches. It took a few tries, but I eventually got hold of a tech support person at Eaton. I had barely finished explaining the problem when he interrupted and asked if these were Eaton Wi-Fi smart switches. I said they were. He said that this was a known problem and they believed the issue was caused by an update that Amazon pushed out the night before, and they were working with Amazon to fix it. He told me to sit tight and wait for a fix. I then asked him how I would know when that fix was available, and could they contact me and let me know it was fixed. He said no, there was no way to notify me, just keep trying it. Needless to say, this did not sit well with me. First, these switches are very expensive. The master 3-way switch cost about $75. The accessory switch that works with it is about $50, and I had 2 other single pole switches that were about $40. So I have a significant investment in this brand that, for all intents and purposes, were now dumb switches. But as a 35-year retired software developer, I was also aware that if only the Eaton switches were affected by this Amazon update, and all of my Kasa switches were not, I can knowledgeably speculate that there must be something out of spec with the Eaton switches that was incompatible now with the latest Amazon update. I further speculated that Eaton, a huge electrical manufacturer, probably contracted out the software for their smart switches and, if the problem was on their end, did not have a group of their own developers to jump on the problem and solve it quickly. Sure enough, several days later, and this issue was not fixed. Not one to wait around for an undeterminable amount of time, I decided to replace all 4 Eaton switches with the Kasa brand that I usually use, which have been working perfectly through all of this. That replacement was done yesterday, and all is well again with my kitchen lights. I now have to return the Eaton switches to Lowe's and hope they will refund my money 6 months later. Lowe's is pretty good about this sort of thing, so I don't anticipate any problems with them. But what about the thousands of others who bought Eaton smart switches and may have been affected by this apparent software glitch? I'm making this video in the hopes that it helps some of you out there who may have run into the same problem and are trying to figure out what to do. I have no connection with any switch company whatsoever, so I recommend Kasa only because they have worked well for me for the last several years, and they were unaffected by this Amazon software update. In other words, I suspect that Kasa switches work more closely with Amazon on the switch specifications than Eaton did. So there you have it. I hope you find this video useful, and please hit the like and subscribe button on my channel so you won't miss any of my other troubleshooting videos. As always, thanks for watching.
Goodbye and thanks for watching.